So today I have Myiesha Myiesha Major. And I've been knowing this lady for almost 3 years, and I'm still mispronouncing her name. However, that's the power of friendship. When they say, James, work on it. So, and then I have, you, Chana Beans?
Yes.
And I always called you Chana Beans because I just thought that was like a nickname. That's really your last name.
That's really my last name.
Absolutely hilarious. Damn near, we're 5 years in with you, and I'm just now realizing Chana Beans is what it is. So anyway, ladies, thanks for coming on. Thanks for taking the time out your day. And I brought you on because I want to show a different side to real estate. I want to show a different side to the culture. So really quickly for the people, introduce yourselves and then we'll get right into it. Come on, Chana, don't be scared of me. It's okay.
Hi everyone, I'm
go.
Chana Beans. I'm a realtor here in SoCal. I've been doing real estate for the last 7 years. I'm a realtor and a law student.
Yes.
I'm penned in my JD.
I love
and I work for Realty Masters and Associates.
Hey everybody, I'm Myiesha Majors. I am a realtor here in SoCal as well. I've been a realtor for the last 8 years. My office is Berkshire Hathaway in Rancho Cucamonga, and I am so impressed that she's also in law school over here. So.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes, we're definitely impressed. So it's real estate law, right?
I do want to do real estate law, but I will probably also do wills,
okay, and trust,
probates, everything that
Perfect.
ties in.
And we need that.
Yeah, especially with us.
Yeah.
We don't have that.
Right.
I'm sure we've all encountered in a deal, as soon as that person passes away, they're like, Mama left me the car, and I'm in the garage getting the couch, and people forging deeds and things like that. So you're right on point. You're right on time. Thank you very much. So ladies, look, I invited you in here because I want to talk to you. Both of you all are married.
Yes.
Chana, no children yet.
No children
Coming
yet.
soon.
Coming
Myiesha,
soon.
how many children do you have?
I have one son.
One son, okay.
Been married almost 20 years.
So that was my next question.
This month will be 20 years.
Congratulations. Ooh, 20
Oh my
years.
gosh.
Well, people don't even stay in their house 20 years, let alone be married. That's a blessing. How long have you been married, Chana?
I've been married 6 years.
6 years. I love it. So I was always taught anything past 3 is pretty much you're good, because 3 represents trial. So if you can get past that 3rd year, so you guys are home free.
Yeah. I thought it was 5.
Yeah,
I thought it was 7.
I represent the 3, but
I
either
heard
way,
the 7-year itch is when.
either way,
it's
you
long.
passed 7, you almost to 7.
Yeah.
So either way, you guys are all good. I got to work on myself, but it's not about me. It's about you right now. So
We're going to work on you, James.
Thank you. So ladies, tell the people about real estate, how you balance your husband and your son, how you balance your husband, and what you do just every day, and how you kind of started in the business.
So for me, I started in the business pretty much. I had gotten laid off. So little history. Prior to doing real estate, for 15 years, I used to work for the banks. I used to do all of the short sales, the deed and liens.
Nice.
I used to negotiate the short sales for the bank. I used to do a lot of charge-offs when Hurricane Katrina happened, all that stuff. Got tired of getting laid off. So my last layoff, I got laid off in January. My son was due in March. I had always said I wanted to try real estate. My husband was like, why don't you try it? Give it a year. So tried it, had my license by the time my son was maybe 2-3 months.
Okay.
And I haven't looked back.
One of the keys in what you just said is your husband said try it.
Yes.
Supportive.
Very
And
supportive.
that's important this day and time, because you'll see things on social media where my husband said this, my wife said this, but I love that about you.
He made me stick with it for a year too, because
That's
there
a
was a
blessing.
few times I wanted to give up. He said, you said you were going to give it a year, and I'm glad that I gave it that year. My first year I was able to close like 10 transactions.
Beautiful.
So from there I knew like I can actually do this.
You can do this, right.
With an infant at the time.
Okay, I love it.
So-
Okay, Chana, tell us a little bit about it.
A little backstory on me. I got started in real estate back in 2015.
Okay.
Before I started doing real estate, I used to drive the bus. I drove the school bus. I
Okay.
worked for MTA. I
Wow.
drove for public transportation.
Oh, I never thought that. You rode the bus with the one hand. Like, I'm loving it.
Right.
I'm loving it.
And I quit driving to go back to paralegal school.
Okay.
And when I was in paralegal school, I learned every law, and I like real estate law the most. And so I reached out to someone who's near and dear to my heart, Miss Sharice Monroe.
Okay.
And I wanted to get into real estate, and I talked to her, and she gave me a chance. I was her executive assistant for a while, and I pretty much learned the ropes, and then I eventually took my exam and passed.
Beautiful.
Then I wanted to go to law school right after paralegal school, but I didn't want to. I got discouraged by the student loans.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was
Makes
like,
a difference.
I could become a realtor and make money like attorneys make. and I have to pay all that money. But then over the years, especially since COVID, it had been like really, eating away at me, like trying to go back to school. So I went back, and
Good job.
I'm balancing both. It is hard. My first year of law school was really, really hard because I did so well in real estate, but ultimately it's all working out. And so
tell me about your husband. Is he supportive in the process?
he's very supportive.
Okay.
And also, you know how I'm having this whole camera shy thing.
Right.
He really pushes me to like post videos
Oh, good.
and to do things. And he's like, don't worry about what they think. Kind of something that you've always told me.
Yeah.
You've always said that since I've known you.
Good.
I mean, he posts, all my stuff. He shares things. He probably pushes me to do everything more than I do myself.
That's
so
good.
he's
He's
100,
supportive.
very supportive.
I love that. I
Yes.
love that. Good deal. So with that being said, both of you guys been in the business for a while. How was COVID affect your business? And how did you get past that?
So for me, COVID sped my business up.
Really? Okay.
So, I mean, when COVID first hit and they sent the kids home, I went to pick my son up from school. I thought I was picking him up for spring break. And they were like, here's a packet for 2 weeks. And so, I had some deals that were literally in escrow that I had, at that time, probably like 5 or 6 deals in escrow. And like 3 of them got canceled, like because people either lost their jobs, got COVID.
Right.
So I like got a little scared, a little anxious,
nervous.
like what the
Right.
heck is gonna happen? And I was pleasantly surprised. Like it seemed like for maybe a month or 2, my phone was a little quiet. I still had stuff closing in escrow, so I was okay.
Right.
And then after like that 2-3 month like lull, my phone has not stopped ringing.
That's
And
good.
it just got busier and busier and busier. So
And you would think because of COVID and jobs and the economy almost shutting down, the world almost shutting down, that you wouldn't get any deals. But people just kept on going. It seemed like it
Right.
increased somehow.
It increased.
Yeah. That's good. So how was it for you, Chana?
For me, when COVID started in 2020, everyone started panicking.
Right.
Peds to go see properties. You were scared to go in people's house, or people didn't want you
Absolutely.
to come in. But I just said, I took the opportunity to say, well, I mean, COVID was serious, but I wasn't going to allow it to stop me.
Right.
And so 2020 it was slow and busy. For me, it got busy more towards the end, but 2021 was my best year ever.
Yeah.
It was like
good.
once the market opened back up and, they kind of
Restrictions came off? Yeah.
came down. I mean, 2021 was my best year.
I love it.
And so I didn't stop, and that was kind of when I had to, share some of my success, because so many people thought that they couldn't do it, but it could be done. And all the families that I helped, they were really happy that they were able to push through.
I'm happy to hear that. That's a
fine.
blessing. So last year, 2021, I saw the post. You did 9 million.
Yes.
Myiesha, you do 16 million.
I did 16 million.
Okay, so how, for any new agents or agents who are married that have children, tell them and inspire them, how do you put that together? I know it's not easy, but how do you guys do that in committed long-term relationships, not just I'm dating my boyfriend, girlfriend, but you guys are actually in it, doing those kind of numbers, which are great and better than the national average for real estate agents. Tell the people how you do that.
I think I was able to do it because it's really about doing something that you love.
Okay.
That's just my personal testimony.
Right, passion.
When it's your passion, it comes naturally. When it's not forced, when you're not just trying to push someone into a home to make a sale,
Right.
really being
make
there for
commission,
them.
yeah.
Showing the client that you're rocking with them and helping them out. That's how I think I was able to scale
Really
my
make it happen.
business.
Yeah, for me, I would say the biggest way that I'm able to make it work is support of my husband.
Okay.
He is super supportive. We work schedules to where if my son gets out of school and I'm still working, he can go pick my son up.
Beautiful.
He will, we tag team his homework. Like everything is like a team effort in our house. So that's what helps. On the weekend, I'm not hearing from him like, oh, you gotta go show houses again.
Right.
He already knows and
Right.
expects that I'm going to be busy.
Right.
So before he even plans anything, do you have clients? Do you have something to do? So that has helped me tremendously be able to do what I do. My son, of course, when he was little, he didn't understand.
Right.
Like, why you always leaving? Where
Right.
you going? But now he's used to it.
Okay.
So he already knows like the drill.
Right.
And I've been successful in doing it and not having to tag him along with me places because I have my husband there.
Right.
My husband's, hours coincide with getting off in enough time to pick my son up from school. Also, like Chana said, just doing something that you love
Absolutely.
helps make it so much easier. I'm that agent who's always trying to educate my clients.
Right.
I'm always trying to put content out there that is pertinent to what's going on in the market, answering questions. So just being relatable and being open to people
Right.
and their questions, their concerns, and not making it about money has made me money.
That's a blessing. I love to hear that. And then the other part that you're saying with that I like is that you are educating people. And in particularly, that's why we have organizations like NAREP. So black and brown people, we're not always educated.
Right.
And we've always had to fight, even most recently with Wells Fargo, about the refinancing. We can have a 700 or 800 FICO score, but we're still getting 9% when everybody else may be getting 4%.
Right.
And then we still have situations where they have rent lining. So to educate people so they buy a house, they come back to you as a referral, but now they could teach another person, their son, their children, their auntie, whatever the case may be, that makes a big difference. And that's where the blessings come into play.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So give us some keys to success, meaning like, do you door knock? Do you cold call? Are you farming? Are you, do you have a drip? Do you have a CMA where you have, not CMA, excuse me, do you have a, what is that called? You have your clients in the database.
CMA.
Okay, so I was right with that.
Wait.
So, like a
Now I'm
Lions
confused.
desk. Like a Lions
Yes.
desk. Yeah, the CMA is when you get the listings, like the Lions desk. So what is the niche outside of referrals that keeps that business going for you?
For me personally, I get a lot of referral business from past clients.
Okay.
My social media presence brings a lot of business my way. I don't door knock, but between my social media and some of the other things that I use, like HomeBot and HomeSnap and stuff like that always, sends me leads and things like that. Sending out mailers sometimes around my listings, things like that always feeds me leads to create more business. Just staying active. Like I have activities that I'm like doing every single day. Right now I'm adding a team. So I've just signed 2 team members in the last 2 days.
Yes.
Because I'm getting like to a point to where I'm like, I can't handle all of these leads.
Right.
But I also want to grow my business and I want to help others grow their business and learn the business because they haven't figured out how to make it successful for them.
Okay, and you could be a mentor to them.
Yes.
You can help them. Chana, what are you doing right now?
I absolutely do not door knock.
Okay.
And I don't cold call. And being transparent, if I could be doing better at my lead generation activities, mainly because law school really consumes me, but kind of what she said, social media, I get a lot of leads from there. Really showing up and being myself. I used to think that I had to put on this whole suit and tie and have this look to be a real estate agent, but I just feel like I'm going to always be myself, and those who are meant to work with me will draw to me.
Absolutely.
Sphere of influence, referrals, and repeat clients has been really how I get my business, and also networking. I'm going to events and sometimes just telling someone that I do real estate, which is something I'm bad at doing. And also my husband, he tells everybody. He tells the world. He be at work telling people, my wife, anytime someone talk about a house,
he's like, oh, my wife's a realtor.
all the time. So, and he's actually brought me deals.
That's good.
So,
That's good.
That's pretty much like how I get my business.
2 things. We're going to switch it really quickly to some relationship advice. And it seems like picking the right partner makes a difference in success, right? And one thing that you all both have in common outside of being successful real estate agents is that both your husbands are supportive. And when you go into a relationship or you're dating, you want to find a supportive person. You want to find somebody who's going to have your back and help you to succeed and be understanding. Nothing's going to be perfect. Obviously, you all going to have your time and your days, but ultimately to gain that success, that has helped you. That's helped you propel. And your husband, for better or worse, he's like, hey, going out there and make it happen. And a lot of men, culturally, as a man, we run the house. No, I'm gonna do this. Hell no, you better watch this boy. I'm going out to watch the football game, damn it. But the fact that he takes the consideration to say my wife is being successful, I want to uplift her and hold her and make her feel good, that says a lot.
Well, the other thing that I like to explain to people, especially married people, especially married women in our business.
Right.
There are ebbs and flows to this business. I could not do what I do without my husband. My husband is still the head of my household.
Okay.
And I treat him as such. I
Love it.
respect him. He respects me. We have a good balance in our home. But I tell people, this business, yeah, you may make $500,000 this year.
Right.
Next year, you might not even make $100,000.
Exactly.
I need
Exactly.
to humble myself and make
100%.
sure that my husband knows that your check is still needed.
Right.
It doesn't matter that this year I may have made more than you. Next
Right.
year I may not even make
Preach,
half of what
girl.
you made.
I love it.
Preach.
So I think people have to understand
Yes.
that even as as a husband, understanding like not feeling demasculated because your wife is doing what she's doing or because she's making this money. I'm like, this is for our
This is for a
household.
season, yeah.
Yes.
This is for a season.
Yeah.
This is for our household. This is to build something, whether it's investing in other properties, whether it's, investing in whatever opportunities you may be
Right.
investing in.
Right.
But the goal is to make the money and make it work for our family so
As a
we can
unit.
build wealth within our family and build wealth within our community as much as we can.
And
So,
generational wealth for your son as well.
absolutely.
Make
That's the
sure,
goal.
Kadar, that we cut just one part to send to Myiesha's husband, because that was really great. If you ever have an argument like, baby, I said this about you, so I need you to feel better, because that was outstanding.
He hears me tell people that all the time.
Well, I mean,
so.
when we see this, hopefully we can make it go viral, because that was very inspiring. And that
Thank
shows
you,
the
babe.
love and admiration that you have for your husband.
Yes.
And that says a lot about you and your character. So, with that being said, Chana, you also do makeup. No,
Yes.
let's not get past that. You do a great job at makeup as well.
Thank
You
you.
know, I mean, we gotta let the people know that you are a jack of all trades.
Yes,
and you're
indeed.
succeeding at all of them.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
You know, so
Thank you.
that's a blessing. I just wanted to highlight that. So moving forward now, we're in the market where interest rates are rising. People are getting a little bit nervous. Tell me from your perspective, what are you seeing? I mean, obviously we don't have a crystal ball, we can foresee the future, but what do you think the future is going to be based on where we are now going into the end of the year?
I've had people ask me, like, should I wait? Should I do it now? Should I do it later? Interest rates are going up, but my opinion on that, these were kind of really the rates that they were before the pandemic hit.
Right.
And because when we were in
Good point.
COVID, the rates dropped, so everyone started, jumping on buying
Yes.
properties, and now they're going back up. But really, the high 3s and 4s was really, where it was. So it's really hard to tell. I hear people say there's a recession coming, but someone said that was going to happen in 2017, and it didn't happen. I just live day by day
Okay.
and still try to be smart. I just tell everyone who asks me, buy when you're ready.
Right.
There's never a perfect time really to do anything. When your finances are in order, you have your money saved, and you feel comfortable to make a mortgage payment, that's when I say go
Go after
for
it.
it.
Gotcha.
Do it when you're ready, and not so much
Because
based
the
on
time.
or based on the talk about the market or the interest rates. Because some people that took advantage of the low rates, they did, but then the ones that waited, look where you're at.
Exactly.
And then the rates they're saying are going to just keep going up. So, are you going to let them keep going up, or are
Right.
you going to jump on it now?
Right.
So,
Makes a difference. You have to take advantage of opportunities that present themselves.
absolutely.
And that's what it's about. And I think that sometimes people, because culture with black folks, I'm gonna wait till God tell us, and spiritually and the Lord, and I get that. I can't tell you how many times I hear that. And I'm like, well, don't be like the man in the story where I'm paraphrasing, but he's on the island. He's like, God, come get me. He sends a boat, he sends a plane, he sends all these different things, and you still wait. God waiting for you. Well, I sent all these different avenues for you to do it, but you passed
Right.
on them. That's the key. You can't pass. You have to take advantage of that opportunity. So, Myiesha, tell me what you're seeing right now.
So to piggyback on what you just said,
Okay.
I always tell people, people are talking about hustling and everything. You got to
Right.
put some hustle behind everything that you do.
Absolutely.
Faith without works is dead. So you can
100%.
have all kind of faith, but if you're not working towards nothing, it's dead.
That's right.
As far as what I'm seeing in the market, yes, the rates are going up. I constantly tell people if you can afford to buy. The rates are always going to go up and down. We are now in what I consider pre-pandemic, like Chana said.
Right.
So I'm like, prior to the pandemic, we weren't seeing the rates in the 5s and the 6s like we
Right.
are now,
Right.
but they were still in
Close
the
to that,
4s,
right.
in the 5s.
Right.
So, I think the problem is you're not seeing the prices come down with the rates going up.
Right.
And so that's the expectation for a lot of people.
Correct.
So right now I'm seeing a lot of back on the market. I'm seeing a lot of price reductions. My sellers that I have are, getting antsy because they saw success from last year, and they were like, "You were putting stuff in escrow in 2 to 3 days.
Exactly. Now we're at
What's
10 days,
happening?"
right? It's
And I'm
spoiled.
like, it may
30.
take exactly. So I'm like, you have to be prepared. So my conversation has started to change to more pre-pandemic conversations with clients. You need to make sure your house is right. People aren't just buying anything right now.
Right.
People are doing more investigations. People are asking for termite. People are asking for repairs again.
Home inspection.
People are
Yeah.
keeping the contingencies in place. They still may be shortening them, and you still may get above asking. But be aware that those buyers are still not just buying anything right now, because they're seeing that I'm going to be spending more money now than I would have spent if I had done this last year.
Right.
So I need to make sure.
This is
So
right.
the conversation has changed. There's less offers on each property.
Okay.
Last year I might have had 30 offers on a property. This year you might see 2 or 3.
Right.
So, or I would say this month, because it seems like it's
It
kind of like
varies
month
from-
to month.
exactly.
But I don't see the market like having some big huge crash or some huge slowdown, but you just never know.
Right.
Right.
I'm like, it has slowed down as far as activity, but people are still buying and people are still selling.
Yeah.
That they
I don't
are.
care what the market looks like, people are always going to buy and sell real estate. Real
True.
estate always changes hands. So
Absolutely.
it doesn't matter what the economy does, it's
That's
going to
true.
happen.
That's true.
And you've got to be prepared.
Either way, you have to be prepared. And real estate is one of the best assets that you can have overall.
Yes.
Through the good time, the bad. I have a property my auntie just refinanced. Her father, which is my grandfather, bought it like 1960 something, $15,000 off of over by Jefferson High School on the east
Okay.
side, 43rd and Central.
Right.
That property has now put her daughter's daughter through college because
See?
they refinanced it. It went from $15,000 to $750,000.
Wow.
On the east side.
Wow.
For people in California, the east side is like the east side for the most part. You know what that
Right.
means, right? But at the end of the day, if you can weather the storm during real estate, you'll have good and bad times. But ultimately, it's going to be a good time for you.
Yes.
And it'll be a benefit for you. So, with that being said, tell me where you all would like to go in your business. What you like to see? Would you like to grow a team with along being an attorney? Do you want to be an attorney and do real estate? And then Myiesha, you're growing a team right now. Tell us a little bit about how that is for you and where you want to take that.
I mean, I want to be a major team out here. You
Okay.
see some of these big teams, I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it.
Absolutely.
I, want to pour into people. I want to make sure that I am educating other realtors that are coming up, whether they've been a realtor for a while or they're new realtors. The 2 realtors who are joining my team, one is actually a broker.
Oh, wow.
Like, he
Okay.
was like, you know a lot, and I want to learn from you.
That's beautiful.
And so it's not for me about trying to, be, some big shot or anything like
Right.
that. I really am into educating people and making sure people understand the process so they can educate their clients.
Good job.
So that's my goal, is to build a team of maybe a couple more agents, and I have 2 right now. So
maybe
I'm
to a 5, 6,
maybe
you wanna
gonna
go to?
I'm gonna try 5 or 6 and
Okay.
see how it does.
Right.
And then, if it's great, then hey, maybe I can build it bigger, but we'll see.
Good. I love to hear it. Chana, tell us about your aspirations and goals.
Same a little bit like Myiesha said. I would like to give back and provide jobs and opportunities for other realtors and other people wanting to be in the real estate field, because when I started out, someone gave me a chance.
Okay.
So right now,
mentoring.
my goal is to open my own brokerage.
I love it.
That's what I want to do.
Good.
And when I have opened my law firm, I want to just have it, this umbrella. Whatever
Nice.
I'm gonna call it, Beans Enterprise. I don't know
Okay,
yet.
okay.
I'm still working on the name, but I
Name
want to
and works,
have my
yeah.
law firm, real estate attorneys. I will probably add like other areas of law, personal injury business. But ultimately, I do want to still do real estate. I'm
Okay.
not going to give up my license. Eventually, I will have to pass the deals on to, the agents who work under me, or, maybe work a few deals with those that I may have to work with, but that's my goal.
That would be a successful concept. Having a real estate attorney and that's where I want to work, because you ain't
Yeah.
gonna worry about
Right.
nothing,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Don't even come over here with no madness, because my attorney's right here. Yeah, so that works out really well.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, you just did an event. I know I reposted on Instagram a couple weeks ago where you did some mentoring and asked people to get on the Zoom and if they wanted to be a part of what you were doing. Tell us about that and how'd that go for you?
So I'm starting to do like bi-weekly masterminds,
Okay.
and trying to just help realtors grow their business.
I love it.
A lot of realtors are constantly asking me, like, how do you get all these listings? How are you? They want to stop working with buyers and they want listings. And so I'm telling them, look, those buyers are going to be your listings.
Right.
Continue to work with buyers.
Don't stop.
Do not
Right.
That's a good
stop
point.
working with buyers.
Right.
I'm like, at the end of the day, I work with both.
Okay.
I don't not work with buyers. I work with both.
Gotcha.
So make sure that you keep those buyer relationships going, because those are going to be the people that refer you other business. They're going to be the one that says, my grandma needs to sell her house. The family has a house that, you know, is in an estate and
Right.
they need to sell it. So, you know, and educate yourself, be a resource. Like early on, I had a client who contacted me, a friend of mine from high school. Both their parents passed away, no will.
Wow.
I didn't know nothing about probate.
Okay.
Literally set up one night on YouTube, watched a bunch of videos about probate.
I love it.
Met with them, gave them what I knew, sent them to an attorney. They started the process. 2 years later, they came back to me to sell the house.
Right.
So yeah, it takes time, and real estate is a long game. It's not, you know, it's a marathon.
Yeah.
It's not a sprint. It
That's
is
true.
a long game. You will work with that same client sometimes 3-4 years
Yeah.
before you get them
Yeah.
to the finish line. So you have to be willing to stay in it with them, to stay in contact with them, to speak to them, to check in on them.
Be a part of their life,
because they're
basically.
going to remember you and come back to you and trust you when that time comes.
So the event, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, just to piggyback off what she said, that's another thing. It's so good not to give up. If you don't know something, figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I remember my very first probate deal, I didn't know what I was doing, but I'm like, am I gonna pass this on to someone else just
Right.
because I don't know? No, I
Figured
figured
it
it
out.
out.
Right,
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, because pass it on and get a percentage, or figure it out and get the whole thing. Like, which one is it
Exactly.
going to be?
Yeah.
So I'll be doing another
okay.
one.
So the first one, how'd that
The first
go?
one was on listings. I was shocked. I thought probably 3-4 people will show up.
Okay.
I had 20 people who
I
showed
love it.
up.
Yes.
So I was like, okay. I mean,
Good.
it's not huge, but it was big for me.
Exactly.
And next week I'm going to do one. Everybody asked, could I do one on marketing and
Okay.
how I market? So I'm going to do another one on marketing next week. I think next Monday at 12.
Okay.
So that's.
And
you
one
know.
thing I heard that we want to inspire people, and Chana, you talked about a little bit, is using social media as a benefit. Using social media to be able to help you and to be able to grow your business.
Yes.
And not being scared.
Right.
You know, you just got to go do it. I mean, even before we started the interview, Chana's like, oh my God, I'm like, Chana, chill. You're going to be good. Don't even worry about it. You're going to be
I
fine.
need a fan right now.
You still nervous?
I'm still nervous.
But you're doing
You're
great.
doing
Let me just
so
say
great.
that.
Thank
you're
you.
doing absolutely great. And it's inspiring what you're telling the people. So
Yes.
you're going
I
to be
hope.
okay. But social media, how much would you say of your business is from social media, each you all?
I will say for me, it's probably like 50-50.
Oh, good.
So what it is, when I make posts, I get people that will message me.
Okay.
Like, oh, I want to get started. Because, you know, sometimes people don't want. And then,
To say it publicly.
yeah, it
Right.
might lead to a conversation. Okay, well, we exchange information. We talk. We might go sit down, have lunch, buyer consultation. It's
Right.
like, I would say 50-50.
Okay, good. And how about you as far as your business?
I would say probably 60 to 70% of my business comes from social media.
Yeah, wow, that is a power. I see a lot of your
Yeah.
videos on TikTok.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. And then Chana, you know, the funny part is that she's like, oh, I'm nervous, but then I'm seeing transitions of outfit fits. She got boots. You going live, talking all this stuff. I'm like, wait a minute now.
Okay,
come
that's what
on.
I'm nervous to do.
Yeah, see, I
I'm
haven't
like,
done live either yet.
Well,
But
I
you
haven't
do
done
real good with
live. I do live on Facebook on Saturdays, but
Okay.
that's just like giving information,
Okay.
answering some questions. But the TikTok thing,
I think I
You
only
do
did.
great at it too. That's
I only
the other
did
part.
one live though, like a week ago. But the thing is, with my videos, I'm not really talking like how I'm talking now. I'm just recording myself and editing. It's different when
it's a
you're
different process.
and it's having a
Yeah.
dialogue is completely different. Because I'm
Yeah.
like trying to think of what to say real quick. Then I'm thinking, I hope I don't say the wrong thing or I don't be awkward.
Right.
It's different when I do videos.
You've done great. Let me just say that.
Thank
For this being
you.
your first interview, you've done really good.
Thank you.
It's a good thing that your husband inspires you and encourages you to do it. And to people who are watching and listening, you just have to do it.
Right.
Like people, at the end of the day, people want to say something regardless of what you do.
I was
you
just
can have
talking about
You can have the
that.
perfect edited Michael Bay video, and they're gonna still say something.
Right.
Look at her eyelashes.
Always.
Look at his socks. Look at them pants he got on. You know, it's gonna always be something. So at the end of the day, why even give a damn?
Right.
And not only that, the people who support you, they're gonna support you. The people who wanna buy and feel your personality, as we talked about before, and your energy and your vibe, they're gonna come to you regardless. So just make sure you keep that up, and people that are reluctant about social media, get on social media and do the business. So with that being said, I want to say thank you both for your time.
You're welcome.
I greatly appreciate it.
Thanks for
I hope
having
that
me.
it inspires other people. We want to, like I expressed before, just change the narrative of the culture, and particularly black women in real estate, and how sometimes they're overlooked if they're not a certain way or a certain size or a certain color. Like it makes a difference. And here it is, you all are both married over 6 years, both $1 million producers, both doing extremely well and having the support of your husband. It just says a lot, and I'm grateful for you taking the time.
Thank you.
Yes.
We appreciate
You're very
it.
welcome.
So with that being said, we'll make sure we put all your social media information in the post. We'll put your information so people can come and join your Zoom, so we can get you
Okay,
past
thanks.
20, get you up to 25, 30 people. Yeah, we want to help, you know, to bring that number up. And we want people to learn from you and be inspired. And then when you pass your test, become an attorney, come back on.
Okay.
So we can really talk about that process and inspire people as far as law.
Definitely.
Which we need. And then we'll go from there.
I'm gonna have a bunch of billboards. Y'all ever see Attorney Sweet Jane?
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Y'all gonna send me all up and down the
And he gets
Beans.
business too. He
Yes.
gets a lot of business.
Yes,
Yeah.
Sweet Beans.
We're gonna put you on KJLH. That'll be really
That
good for you.
too,
Yeah,
right.
that'll be good. So, with that being said, thank you again.
Thank
and
you.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you.